Hi guys, it's Jeff at Slavens Racing. This video is about, basically about a previous video that I did on how to install two-stroke piston rings, but it's really about why I never do that. I always change the piston and rings together, the piston kit. And the reason is, we get guys all the time that, have questions about installing rings. And we sell quite a few rings, but personally, I never change the rings in my bike. I always change the piston kit, the piston and the rings together. The reason, for a lot of reasons. So the rings, that are sitting right here, obviously go up and down the cylinder at the same rate as the piston does. So they're experiencing the same wear as the piston. And so the piston is getting worn at the same rate that the rings are, and there's places on, and guys say, well, my piston still looks pretty good. It's got some of the coating on it, yada, 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 the machining grooves, and I'm just going to change the rings. Well, the problem I have with that is, if you look at a used set of rings, I don't have a used set of rings to show you here, I'm sorry. But if you look at a used set of rings, the bottom side, so the top side is the one that has the letter on it, which this one says N. Let's see if you can see that. It says that on it. That's the top side of the rings, but the bottom side of the rings and the bottom side of the ring land, this groove where the ring sit is called the land, is experiencing all the wear. So if you look at a used set of rings, the top part will look pretty close to this. The bottom part will be super shiny and have wear on it. And sometimes even if you take calipers and measure the thickness around here, you'll get some variances in the thickness, especially if you compare that thickness to a new set of rings. So what happens is as the piston's going up, it's compressing the air. It's creating compression. That's how the engine runs. And it's pushing the ring down onto the ring land. So the bottom of the ring is experiencing wear, the bottom of the ring land experiences wear, and that makes the ring sit in there loose and doesn't create as good of a seal because the ring's chattering. It can, as this land gets enlarged from the wear, well, the ring's going to chatter some. In some cylinders, I even see chatter marks on the cylinder bore. So, the bottom of the ring wears, the bottom of the ring land wears out on both of them here. And so therefore the piston, to me, should be replaced at the same time as the rings are replaced. Most customers seem to do it around 100, 125 hours. I change mine around 80, just because I like to keep my motors really fresh. And the longer you let the cylinder or the piston go, the more clearance there is in the cylinder bore, and so then the piston's going to rattle more as it goes up and down, and then that wear rate is going to be increased. So I don't wait until the piston is completely hammered, because at that point, like I just mentioned, it's creating more wear on the cylinder bore. If you keep it tight, well, then the bore is going to last longer as well. So that's kind of my 2 cents on this. I always change, just to review, I always change the pistons and rings at the same time. Also, if I'm going to go to all that trouble to drain the coolant, which I hate coolant, I don't care how careful you are, you always end up with some type of a little mess in your shop. You get that sticky crap everywhere sometimes. I usually, drain it outside, but even then, there ends up some left in the skid plate or whatever that drips around and makes a mess. I hate dealing with coolant. And then if I'm going to go to all that trouble to pull the cylinder off, drain the coolant, pull the cylinder and head off, and replace the rings, well, I'm going to do the whole enchilada at the same time. To me, just changing the rings is kind of like taking a shower and putting your dirty clothes back on. So anyhow, those are the reasons why I don't change just rings. One, just to review, one is the wear on the bottom of the rings and the ring land, also the wear on the cylinder, or the piston wall and the cylinder bore, and then just the hassle, the whole process. piston kit's not that much more expensive than just the rings. The rings are kind of pricey. So guys, you know, you can make your own decisions obviously on that. It's your bike, you do whatever you want, but my 2 cents is that you change the piston kit when you're, instead of just changing the rings. If you have any other questions about it, please give us a call or drop us an email at info@slavensracing.com. Also guys, I make these videos, you know, I already know how to do all this stuff obviously, so I make these videos to help you and maybe save you a buck or two or a pain in the ass. And so if you wouldn't mind helping us out by clicking on the subscribe button at the bottom of this, right below this video. Please click on that subscribe button. Also like us on Facebook and whatever it is you do on Instagram to join us there. So hope you get out and ride, get some good throttle therapy in, and enjoy the summer. That's all for now.